So, let me read first the problem. So, commonly naman sa clutch, basta tandaan nyo yung equation ng power, tapos yung mga condition na uniform wear at uniform pressure, then we can actually solve the problem. Sabi dito, this clutch has 6 pairs of contacting friction surfaces. The frictional radius is 2 inches, and the coefficient of friction is 0.03. Rather, 0.3. An actual force of 100 pounds acts on the clutch. The shaft speed is 400 RPM. How much horsepower can the clutch transmit? So, naghahanap ng power sa clutch. So, this is this clutch. Pag meron tayong this clutch na hinahanap ng power, that is simply yung minute factor natin. And so, hanapin lang natin kung merong rotational speed. So, that is given, that is 400. Yung factor that depends on what unit yung kailangan natin. Baka yung kailangan. Nasa choices. So, yung torque, wala pa tayo na to. Bali, we will be needing to determine the torque. For a particular disc clutch, ang torque natin doon ay yung fan farm, diba? Which is yung coefficient of friction times yung number of pairs times the actual force times the in radius or the frictional radius. So, since dun sa problem, meron tayo coefficient of friction that is 0.9 na 6. So, yung actual force natin is also given, that is 100 pound. Ito yung sa problem natin. Yung pair. Then, yung mean radius natin or the frictional radius, that is 2. Therefore, makuha natin yung torque. So, direct sum lang yan. So, para isang lagay lang yan sa calculator natin, then, we will simply input na yung torque sa formula ng power. So, what you would get is N times yung fan farm over factor. Direct sub lang natin yung values, that is 400 RPM times 0.3 times 6 times yung 100 force times yung RM na 2 inches. Then, nag-HP yung kailangan mo, tapos meron kang inch, pound, tsaka RPM sa taas. Then, ang conversion ng factor natin ay 63025. Although, may instances na 63,000 lang yung ginagamit. But anyway, yung mas eksakto ngayon, 63025. Gagawin na lang, ilagay lang yan sa calculator yung values natin. Bali, that is 400 times yung fan farm. Ayan, so basically, yan lang yung kailangan to solve the problem. Ayan, so bali, we can now determine yung power, that is, press mo lang FB, that is 2.28 horsepower. So basically, yan yung letter natin. By the way, pag chinek nyo yung unit analysis, makaka-cancel out yung inch pound at yung RPM o horsepower yung patitra. Okay, so another problem sa ating clutch. So another disc clutch ito. Sahin ko lang. A disc having an outside diameter of 32 cm and an inside diameter of 12.57 cm is connected to an engine that turns at 750 RPM. The coefficient of friction is 0.6, while the pressure between the friction surfaces is 2 kg per square cm. Compute the force on the clutch pedal necessary to disengage the clutch from the engine. So, pag force in disengaging yung ating kailangan computent in a particular disc clutch, we can solve this by simply having yung actual force natin, that is pressure times area. Ayan, so yung pressure natin from the problem is given, that is 2 kg per square cm. Then yung area natin will depend on what the assumption is, kung uniform wear ba yan or pressure. However, since binanggit na sa problem, disengagement yung kailangan natin, commonly, yung area na gagamitin natin will be related sa uniform pressure natin, diba? And so, let us show yung formula ng uniform pressure ng area. And so, uniform pressure area is yung annular cross-section natin, which is pi over 4 diameter outside squared minus diameter inside squared. Yan. So, from the problem, given naman tayo ng outside diameter, outer diameter, is lang natin. So, given tayo ng outer diameter, that is 32, pati inner. So, we would get yung area natin. Then, yung pressure is also given. It is 2 kg per square cm. So, basically, kung kita nyo na ganyan lang yung kailangan gawin, kahit mahaba yung problem, masasagutan natin. So, direct sum, bali, meron tayong pressure that is 2 kg per square cm times pi over 4 area, quantity 32 squared minus 12.7. So, di mo na kailangan i-convert kasi centimeters to. So, square cm that will cancel out. Matitirang unit kilograms. And yan yung nasa choices. So, sa mga clutch, kapag yung mga units ay nagtatama naman, then yun na mismo yung kukunin natin. Minsan direct sum na lang yan. And yung ibang given ay hindi na ginagamit. Which is sometimes what we call the dummy givens. So yun yung mga panggulo. Para, siyempre, the more na mas mahaba yung problem, the more na mas kakabahan tayo. So yun yung mga instances na gusto natin na iwasan. So, press mo lang FD para makuha natin yung decimal. That is 1355.14 kilograms. So, yung sagot natin yung letter A. Okay, so another problem sa ating clutch. So, ito naman ay multiple disc. Basahin ko lang. A multiple disc clutch consists of 10 steel discs and 9 bronze discs. The effective outside and inside diameters are 8 inches and 6 inches respectively. If an actual force of 100 pounds is applied and the shaft turns at 100 or rather 1000 rpm, find the horsepower capacity. Assume a coefficient of friction 0.25 and uniform. So binigay na, binanggit na uniform gearing gagamitin. So kung hinahanap sir yung horsepower, so paano natin kukompute? So let us recall yung this clutch power natin. That is basically yung peanut factor. Then pag meron tayong peanut factor, as meron kang given na n, power can be determined by simply knowing the new torque natin. So yung this clutch torque is yung fan part. Diba ganyan din sa multiple disc. However, sa multiple disc, commonly hindi pairs ang binibigay. Instead, ang binibigay yung material natin or rather yung mating portion at mating disc and plate natin. So, pag ginaganap ng disc pairs, diba? That is basically yung given disc, diba? Check mo lang, i-add lang natin. And the criteria doon is dapat even number siya. So, for multiple disc clutch, dapat mo yung dalawang material, disc and plate material, that should be an even. Pag hindi, ma-minus mo ng 1. So, 10 plus 9 is 9. 10 plus 9 is 19. At sa odd number, so kailangan mo yung minus 1. Hindi laging fix yung formula na minus 1 yan. Pero dapat even siya dapat. In any case, we simply needed to evaluate that. So that is 10 plus 9 minus 1. So, nakita na natin, makuha natin yung value. That is 18. So, meron ka ng number of pairs. Coefficient of friction is given. That is 0.25. Given time of 0.25. N is na-compute natin. Actual loading. So, actual loading. Ito yun. 100 pounds. Then, mean radius or yung frictional radius natin is hindi pa given. So, paano natin hanapin yung friction radius? So, since the assumption is uniform wear, then the mean radius is basically solved by the sum of the diameter outside and inside divided by 4. And yung inside diameter is 8, rather 6. So, plus yung outside na 8. So, divide mo lang ng 4. Okay, so, kumpitin lang natin sa calculator yan to determine the mean radius. So, actually, pag meron na tayo ng mean radius, then makukumpute na natin yung problem. So, press equals, press FD, para makuha yung radius. That's basically 3.5 inches. Meron tayong mean radius, meron na tayong n, then we can now solve yung torque. Sabi nga natin, dahil meron tayong angular speed din, which is 1,000 RPM, we can now solve yung power natin. So, ilagay na natin sa power formula para isang pindutan lang sa calculator. So, n is 1,000, torque is fan farm, so coefficient of friction 0.25, pairs is 18, actual loading is 100, mean radius is 3.5 divided by yung conversion factor. Since inch pound to, tapos RPM, so English yun. Tapos gagawin natin horsepower, edi dapat English factor yung gamitin. 63025 or 63,000. Okay, so lagay lang yung ating values sa ating equation. And consistent naman yung units natin. So sa machine design, always check your units. Lalo na pag gumagamit kayo ng mga empirical na formula. Kasi kadalasan sa empirical formula na dali, gawa na hindi siya proper. Okay, so ang makuha nating value ng power is 25 HP and that is yung letter A natin.